Hi, it's Michael Boyle with another tip for Stack.com. Today we're going to talk a little bit about glute activation. This is something that maybe is a little bit controversial now, but in my mind, I don't think so. I think with most people, it's not a bad idea to think about trying to get the glutes turned on. If we look at most people, you're not seeing enough glute development. You're not seeing, I always say, it goes back to the old Sir Mix-a-Lot song, I like big butts, and I do. It is the biggest, most powerful muscle in your body, and the idea of spending maybe a minute or 2 minutes in warm-up to make sure you get that muscle doing its job, to me, is something it's too easy to not spend a minute. So when we talk about glute activation, we're literally talking about the idea, I don't think muscles, and this is why it gets controversial, muscles are never on or off. It's when people say, oh, this muscle's turned off, that's not true. Basically, we're going to look at things as being down-regulated. The analogy I like to use for somebody is a dimmer switch. It would be like walking into your living room and realizing, wow, the lights are really down low, but they're on. I know they're on. I can see the switch on. I can see a little bit of a glow. But if I think of our glute activation work as turning that dimmer switch way up. My favorite glute activation exercise is what we call a Cook hip lift. My friend Gray Cook is one of the few people in the world who actually gets exercises named after him. I usually don't use any of the other ones, but he did come up with a really unique idea for how to get your glutes active and how to get them working properly. The key, in my mind, to glute activation is that you get your glutes and your hip flexors working at the same time. Your hip flexors on one side, your glutes on the other. Tennis ball. So what we're looking at here is we're going to clamp that tennis ball in. In order to clamp the ball in, I have to use my hip flexors on this side, primarily my psoas and my iliacus. And then what I'm going to do is what most people would say it's a single leg bridge. That's exactly what it is. But it's a single leg bridge done, in this case, with my left leg, done in concert with a contraction of my psoas and my iliacus, my hip flexors of my right leg. So when I'm here, and I'm going to think, the key, toe is up, heel is down, I'm not pushing flat into the foot. If I push flat into the foot, I can make it a really quad dominant exercise. If I get that toe off the ground and I think, drive the heel down, what we like to think about is 5-second holds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, and reset. If the ball falls out, you know you've got somebody who can't use their glutes and is substituting the motion of their lumbar spine for the motion of their hip. That's the big key to this ball. If I just took the ball out and I did it this way, or I let my leg go someplace else, I did it that way, it's going to be really hard for me to determine whether I'm getting motion out of this hip, out of this glute, and getting the activation that I want. I want my 5-second holds because I want to be able to look at that person and know, are they using their glute? If I'm doing reps and I'm just going up and down, I can use momentum, I can bounce myself up and down. That's not going to be nearly as good. 5-second holds, the other thing that we've been working on now, I want 5-second holds with a 5-second exhale. So if I come up, I'm thinking on my 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I'm really getting is a 5-second exhale, which I can't talk and do, but it's going to be up here. A long 5-second breath out. Why do I want a 5-second breath out? Because my deep abdominal muscles are involved in exhalation. So when I'm trying to get, because here what I'm getting, coordination, glute, hip flexor, abdominal muscles. If I'm holding the ball, I'm forcing these muscles to work on this side. If I'm driving heel down, I'm forcing this glute to work on this side. If I'm exhaling, I'm forcing my core muscles to work as stabilizers. I'm not getting what some people talk about as a stomach pouching out or a rib pop or any of that stuff. I'm able to kick in those core muscles. So the combination of the tennis ball, a 5-second exhale, and a toe up, heel down kind of action is going to give me that simple glute activation exercise 5 times 5 seconds before your workout, 25 seconds on each side, to me is going to be a really valuable minute. I'm Michael Boyle for Stack.com. We'll see you next week with another strength and conditioning tip.